This is an historic occasion, even though for Cuba they've been in the quarterfinals plenty of times in the World Baseball Classic. I say historic because it's the first time ever that we're watching the Cuban national team with active major league players in this tournament. Australians say that there may not be household names on their roster in their lineup, but they're darn good ball players, and they're going to face a darn good pitcher for Cuba.
He's really good. This is Yadiel Rodriguez. One start, outstanding first game out there.
The 1-2 drops off. Glendening strikes out, swinging 2 Ks in the first inning for Rodriguez. Well, Santos in front of Moncada and Robert Jr. against Steve Kent.
I love to see Kent get his legs back. He needs to bring that reliever urgency quickly because we know his manager is not afraid to go to the bullpen early.
2-2 bounce to Kent. Fields it cleanly and goes to Wingrove. So the walk to Moncada doesn't hurt anybody. Scoreless after 1. The third baseman Darryl George. And George gives the 0-1 a ride to center field. Robert going back. That ball is gone. Now it's called a double as it went off the top of the wall. You got to look at that one more time.
Have to. That was awfully close. Take a look at the ball travel. Look at the yellow line and look at the fence, the wall.
Not be challenge or review.
It was quite a shot from the bat of Darryl George.
So a leadoff double in front of Aaron Whitefield. Puts the bunt down third base side. Rodriguez. That's easier said than done to get the speedy Whitefield, but there is one out as George moves up to third base. The Aussie cheering section here at the Tokyo Dome getting going ahead of Ricks and Wingrove's plate appearance. The 0-1 pitch to Wingrove. In the right field for a base hit, and Darryl George showing Australia across the chest. The scoreboard shows an Australian lead, 1-0.
Ricks and Wingrove comes through in a big way early, and the big bats again show up. They slug the baseball, and also his swing has gotten shorter. Quicker path of the baseball. We learned a lot before the series or before the tournament. His long swing, his swing and miss, but my goodness, is this emotional.
First and second now after back-to-back walks. The ever-dangerous Robbie Glendening. Glendening takes ball 4. 3 consecutive walks have loaded the bases. The hardest hit ball of this game so far was off the bat of Darryl George, who will step up with the bases loaded. 0-2 on the ground, too short. Mario Bonena will go to second base to end the bases loaded threat for the Aussies. Mitch Neuenborn, currently unaffiliated with a Major League Baseball team. Based on what we have seen here in Tokyo, that's going to change.
Moncada has been scoring the baseball. The Moncada is more than primed. I mean, as he got hot.
Moncada hit hard the other way. Left field and deep. Boyarski will jump, cannot make the catch. It's off the top of the wall. Santos will be held up at third base. A stand-up double for Moncada.
They know exactly what they have in him. That's why he bats second. And look, as you think it's just a normal pop-up, how much carry he gets because backside, inside the ball, and just misses the home run to the opposite field.
Second and third, nobody out for Cuba. 1-2, rip left side, backhanded by Wade. He gets Robert, but Santos scores to tie the game.
And infield's playing back. You are an RBI guy. That's the difference in a big league season. If you play a full season between dropping in 90 runs and 120 runs right there. Take the ones they're giving you by putting the ball in play and not thinking about 3 runs, but just take the one to get your team back in the game. You know, the lack of command is just making Cuba manager Andy Johnson more aware that those pitches are piling up.
As Wade draws a walk.
Lazo heads to the mound, 68 pitches.
They're taking the ball from him. He's disappointed in that decision, but he's going to have to live with it. 2009 World Baseball Classic. Cuba edged Australia in the qualifying round, won 5-4. Ninth pitch of the AB to Canelli, driven to left field. Oh, what a catch and left by Santos. Spun around, put the glove up, and brought in the first out of the 5th.
That's what good athletes do for you. He had to turn around. That ball's coming back on him. It was A lot of topspin on it.
Santos makes the excellent catch in left field. Does it with the bat to get on in front of João Moncada. He is 8 for his last 11. A 3-2 outside. First 2 aboard for Cuba in the 5th.
In this situation, Holland could be the perfect scenario here for Luis Robert Jr.
That got him. So bases loaded. Nobody out for Cuba. España. Shot to right. Canelli makes the grab. Tagging up is Santos. The sacrifice fly has Cuba in front 2-1 in the 5th.
That's why Nelly, good hitters, do not miss mistakes in prime situations. For Kennedy, as simple as it sounds, the contact on the ground right here just stopped the bleeding quickly.
Guibert 0 for 2. Guibert ground ball right side and through. He's barking at the dugout as he extends Cuba's lead. 2 score, and it's 4-1. The throw down to third does get a second out. The big knock for Yoelkis Guibert.
They're finding a way to get it done. You know, Kennedy get the ground ball, but just the ball way too elevated against a left-handed batter. Outstanding piece of hitting. And talking to Roynes today, he goes, but I'm good to go long here.
He enters with now a 3-run lead. Whitefield, ground ball short, knocked down. The throw not in time to beat the speedy center fielder. Arena could not come up with it cleanly, and so the leadoff batter is aboard for Australia. Rickson Wingrove, he drove in the first run of the game in the 2nd inning with an RBI base hit. Left on left. Wingrove does not care. That ball is long gone. A 2-run blast for the first baseman, and Australia is back within 1.
They're never out of this. This is who they are. So many times you get a report on a player that he's got a swing and miss. He has gotten better as we see more and more at bats. No doubter.
It's 4-3 Cuba in the bottom of the 7th. Moncada, Robert, and España. Moncada stays hot. A base hit to lead off the 7th. Refocusing on the little things. Good energy, great pace to that Kemp. So they're trying to wash away. Look out, Moncada leading off first base, and Kennedy. McGrath rather gets him for the 2nd out.
We're just talking about the little things. Things like this. If you're not sure, keep your eye on the pitcher. That is just an outstanding move right on that angle at 45 degrees.
Tying run aboard for Robbie Perkins. Perkins have a green light. Doesn't need it. Back-to-back free passes, and now the tying run is in scoring position.
Australia so far, runners in scoring position, 1 for 5.
On the 1-2 pitch, Canelli skies one. Shallow right field. Guibert secures it. Moinello works out of the jam. We have the veteran Warwick Supple towing the slab now for Dave Nilsson. A huge insurance run lurks on second base. Coming in from Sappold. Liner to the second baseman. Glendening will step on the bag to double up Guibert. So the deficit for Australia remains 1.
And for Australia, they're going to face Rydell Martinez, and we are talking experienced pitcher.
And they raise the decibel level with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Cuba 1 out away from going to Miami. Australia 1 out away from going home. To pay it off. Strike 3 swinging. For the first time since 2006, Cuba's headed to the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic.
Armando Mandy Johnson had a message for his ball club after the 0-2 start in Pool A. It's not about who's not here. It's about the men that I have in this clubhouse, the talent, the belief, the fight coming down from 0-2. But a gentleman with a gentle voice and a strong presence is making history for his ball club.